energetic, anxious, blunt, and a little bit terrified. I got you! The youth in 20s. I fully understand what you are feeling and why you are feeling so. But kindly speaking, even if you desire to fulfill your life blankness by a series of social conventions, it's not wise to listen to any advice that is seemingly wise, including mine for now. What? Wanted to know why? Watch up this video! Ready? Go! Too easy to be influenced. To admit or not, at the beginning of adulthood, young people in 20s are those who are easily manipulated or influenced by any external elements. You think yourself the most independent ever though. Peers, friends, media, better halves, teachers, parents, books, movies, even ads. Almost all around you are easily shape you at the most degree. For example, peer pressure. For the most of the time, peers competition easily motivated particularly young boys to both competition and cooperation when they serve to show their muscles and gain social recognitions. So you can see many young people contribute to become ambitious social climbers and feel instantly anxious once they are left behind in conventional social structure stuff, including visible payments, job status, hot better halves, family buildings, and so on. But you know what? Those competitions at the most time turn out kind of bland. You will test them out as you grow mature. Friendship and romantic love in 20s, especially with people in a similar age, can be complicated and struggling because intimate behaviors, manners, and expectations in these relationships at large come from original families, where you originally learn how to behave through mimicking the people around you. So very often, friends and lovers are neither extension of another similar yourself, family members, or supplement with the opposite characters. The former can continue to strengthen your current characters and personalities with the latest social fractions. At the same time, it may shrink your social circles and wills though. The latter will help you to see something potential, different, and perhaps fulfill what you want to be, but you have not yet in the reality. The dreaming self. But you know what? But most of the time, you will experience a mixed feeling with peers, friends, and lovers, both love and hate due to gender differences and complex of human nature. Although the youth usually look rebellious to any authorities more or less. Parents, teachers, leaders, even governments. However, the stronger you play against something, the deeper relationship you are involved with it in some way. This is like when you draw a white line on a white paper, nothing appears. But when you draw a black line with the opposite and highest contrast color on white paper, all existences turn visible. It looks like white and black are totally different. In fact, they involve with each other in some way deeply. Analogically, to some extent, the power of rebelling is a kind of a seemingly independent but reaction force of another side. And ironically, similar thoughts and behaviors often find their ways between enemies. So, you know what? In future, you will find out, oops, finally I'm able to master the two sides. Once you grow up mature enough and become object and calm. Books, movies, and dramas can be the most available and popular ways to expand horizons and feel emptiness in the 20s. Even you are crazy about some actors, actresses, or novelists, and their stories can make impact on your own life choices. And some dumb you in 20s probably mimic some romantic or dramatic plots through those medium automatically, as you easily imagine you are the hero or heroine there. But as you grow up, when your imagination and visual ideas make a conflict with crucial and plain reality, you will find you are probably fooled by them. In other words, the naive you will finally find out the underlying logic that All the artistic works have to find their dramatic ways to attract people's attentions and become the so-called successful. Otherwise, staff in the whole industry won't work and get paychecks. And finally, you will find out yourself in the real life is the real director and editor of your life. Honey, no one can influence you except you allow them to do so. The mass media is a window for you to build connections between you and the outside world. However, you probably don't know how many interest groups and political powers stand behind media financially to display not truth but what they want you to know. So, from whomever and whatever you meet in your 20s, don't just obey anything around without critical thinking. Not critical thinking enough. Critical thinking is the soul of individual independence. In the 20s, it's quite normal if you were not enough to build up your soul, because it might be a lifelong project, but you are just at the beginning of adulthood. So your 20s, very often you have not enough critical judgments and systematic analysis on those influential electors around both in content and in forms. For example, Apple's promotions on some products will encourage you to open your wallets without second thoughts on whether you need it or not. Tasty but rubbish food will dominate your daily diets, regardless how harmful they are to your health. Popular apps with vivid dances will take your time easily no matter they are meaningful or not. Political leaders will easily instigate you to serve for the army, no matter you understand why they wage the wars on earth or not, and what is the real honor and justice with truth. Besides by countenance, you are easily manipulated to believe and love something and someone by any seemingly splendid forms. Hot-looking girls and boys can easily trigger your sexual demands. But you know what? Even if dating thousands of hot people in convenient social apps, your real life can't go in a happy way as you once imagined. In addition, some popular role models cause for progressive movements and make you follow them by using many smart, savvy, and manipulative words and personal stories, even when you are not capable of discerning what it really means for your real life in details. Even themselves don't really know what they do is for the whole well-being or just for make themselves famous and influential. You can do it! So in 20s, please do nothing but start to activate the power on your critical thinking, reading versatile books, meeting all kinds of people, and experiencing what you are really interested in or not. The diversity of your visions will do help you to build a solid structure of critical thinking. Once you digest and observe wisely, eventually it will shape your own life philosophy. Anyone's advice is limited. No matter how convincing a life advice sounds like, put it aside a little bit before you really take action to move. Anyone's advice is limited in terms of their own life experiences. Anyone's life experiences is limited because they only live in their lifespan with their own face. Anyone's time and energy are limited because, after all, we are human beings. No one will exactly experience what you are experiencing. No one is on your way but yourself. No one can master your fate but yourself. Although those role models, including parents, teachers, or even religious gods, are elder and supposed to be wiser than you, their rules automatically weren't yours. They are not perfect as you think. Instead, to some extent, they are just playing the role models for encouraging and motivating someone else, including you. But you have your own role that deserves only you to discover and play. No one will know what you should do next but yourself. People in the 20s are not the most superstitious, but the ones who are easily to be manipulated to be superstitious on something seemingly valuable in other eyes. If those role models won't spare no efforts to influence, they will lose their business values and social status. But the most important thing is you, honey. You, yourself. Eventually, the role models you once admired and loved will fade away as you grow emotionally mature. Leaving them is not unfortunate. Instead, congratulations! That goodbye to them is the best milestone that indicates you finally grew up in your own ways. So, don't take any advices from anyone. Ask help from your heart and mind generally. How to do it? Close your eyes, listen in peace. You know the answer. You know your own life road. Welcome to subscribe my channel. I will share more whys with you. Cheers!